Hey, hello from Body Rocket. We are stateside, just finished up the North Carolina Ironman 70.3, which is our last stop on the way to Kona. We've noticed Gustav making a lot of noise with his position on social media lately, and we wanted to talk a bit about it because it's something that Body Rocket's been really involved in. It's been a pretty exciting project for us.
Oh yeah, it's been extremely exciting, extremely tight at the same time.
Very much so. So, as many of you know, we work with Christian Blumenfeld and Gustav Iden as part of the Centaur group, and so we had a remit to take them from after the Olympics and after Gustav was coming back from injury, to take them in a 10-week period of time from the Olympics to being, contenders at the Kona Ironman World Championships coming up in just a week's time. It's been a pretty crazy journey, as you said.
It's been a wild ride.
There's really been just a handful of days of testing in there, but the benefit of the Body Rocket system and the reason that we've been able to even think about doing this in a 10-week period is that we've been able to work with them in their own training schedules and follow them around and get that testing done in a way that normally would be really disruptive and be having to involve things like going to wind tunnels. So we started in Bergen in late August after the Olympics.
Yep.
Spent 2 days with them. Olaf gave us a really clear remit. He said, I need you to take these guys to the extremes and not just find their aerodynamics, but really push their physiological limits and cause those adaptations to start, because we don't have a lot of time. We need to get them adapted to whatever position they're going to end up in. And to do that, we need to push them beyond that. So that was our goal in Bergen.
Exactly, that was our goal in Bergen, and it's followed a similar fashion because I joined them in Flagstaff, Arizona, their last training camp before Kona. Yeah. And to be able to aero test right before a training camp was an absolute privilege. Not only for me, but for them as well.
The only time it's been done is right before the Olympics with Christian, but
yes.
we'll leave that for a different video. But we showed up to Bergen. We knew we had to push them, so we actually made special adapters to bring them into the positions they wanted. They were going to go quite a bit further. So this is actually Christian's adapter, and the holes here are where his base bars mount and typically where his elbow pads would be. And you can see he's come this much further out. This is actually the piece that he is going to be racing on in Kona, so you'll see this on his bike. And so we took Christian through that process. We took him out to those extremes, pushed him a little bit too far. We brought him back into a position that was physiologically right, a good balance with aerodynamics.
Yeah, exactly, so I was right, I was testing with him, and we just kept increasing that reach, changing the angle of the extensions, and eventually we got to his limit. He said, I can't run with this, I need to take it back a little bit. And it's about finding that balance, and it's exactly what we wanted to do.
Yeah, but we are not here talking about Christian because it was Gustav who we couldn't find the limits for.
Gustav just kept on going. So we started off with his normal position over in Bergen, but then we started stretching him out.
Well, he reached the limits of the adapter we made for him in Bergen.
Exactly.
And so we had to make a new adapter for him in Flagstaff.
Which is here. So you can see this is where the adapter mounts to the current
monoriser on his
Giant
Trinity.
And this is where the pads would be. But what we've done is adapted it so that it stretches even further forward, passes through our load cell, so we can measure his aerodynamics in that position.
And we thought it was to get him to push him to those limits, to take him to the extreme. But no extreme is too extreme, it seems.
No extreme is too extreme for Gustav. Unlike Christian, where he turned around and said, "Hi guys, I can't run after this." Yeah. Gustav was like, "Hey, this is good. This is good."
And it might not be his limits. It was the limits of the bike and the setup that we had for him.
Yeah, exactly. And we found that position to be extremely aerodynamic with no compromise on everything else he had to do. I mean, in fact...
He's got a tough job. You know, he's coming back from injury. He doesn't feel like he's had the time to get the fitness, but he's clocking some really great bike splits now. We're really optimistic, and we think, we're hopeful it can come together for him on the day. It's been really great to be a part of this, and it's probably not the end of where we go with him. It was what we could do in the time period that we had. So we're just a week out from Kona right now, and there's another change that we haven't talked about here. You'll see it on race day. So if after you watch the race, come back here and comment if you can find another notable difference between their two setups in something that you would expected them to have had very, very similar setups on. Follow us on our the next time that we're doing a video. We'll be sitting down with the guys and talking about their race experience. Be sure to stay tuned, follow and like the channel, and be ready for our next video. We'll see you in Kona.
See you in Kona.